and even at youth hockey too, it's one of the things that I kind of, I'm not going to say struggle with, but I never really understand. There's this one organization that, for some reason, the perfect formula seems to be 9 forwards and 4 defensemen.
Yeah.
Can't seem to get them on board to just take 2 more defensemen, and then you've got 3 complete units.
Yeah.
And how often, especially when you're dealing with youth hockey, how often is someone not sick or injured? It's not that often you have all those kids anyway.
Almost every time you're missing at least one player.
Yeah.
For all sorts of reasons. But we play 4 lines and 6D. I think that's why we won the tournament, because we won a lot of third periods.
Yeah, I mean, as long as those kids are of the level that they can compete at, then I agree with that 100%.
Stop time games, that's quite long games.
Yeah.
Tom, when you coach U13, was it 9 forwards?
Yeah, it was 3 lines and it was 15 players, 15 skaters.
Yeah. I think that's the general rule at U13. I know Hockey Canada wanted to go to 20,
Yeah.
4 lines, and I think those players, they don't get tired. But it's equal if everybody's got 3 lines. And
Yeah, well, if you got 4 lines, then you got another 3 players each team moving up.
Last year, and the same team in Edmonton, which has ringers and only 9 forwards, they're sort of predicted to win the national championship this year. And quite frankly, I hope they don't, because it's not the way they're going to learn to play hockey moving forward. You got to have 4 lines, or you're playing too slow and too tired, and especially in tournament competition.
Yeah, well, you can do 3 lines. Like I've never played a game with 4 lines in my life in a real official game. If you got 3 lines and you're taking short shifts, that's the key. Is you take short shifts, it's just fine. But 4 lines, you got to do the short shifts. Everybody be involved. But in the tournament we were just in, with 2 days, we had 2 games each day. You need 4 lines. You just physically, you can't handle 3 lines if you're going to play really hard, and we try to play really fast. So
Sure. And I have to say, like, the most successful teams, I'm talking older, like prep school and up, you had 4 lines that could go.
yeah.
Those always the most successful teams.
Well, the Flames, they played 3 games in 4 days, and they won their last game, and the 4th line was by far their best line. The other ones were not doing much.
It's interesting how that's going too, because been watching a little bit of the Bruins have been on a lot lately with the season just getting going, and I think their 4th line has 5 or 6 goals in the 4 or 5 games that they played, and they're only getting 8 to 11 minutes of ice time. So
yeah, the same with Calgary's 11 or 12 minutes ice time.
Yeah,
because they don't play the power play.
So I guess part of the question is too, why aren't you playing your 4th line more if they're the ones that are scoring?
Well, you know what? Calgary did start playing the 4th line in the 3rd period, because the coach goes with guys that are playing the best. Then he put Coronado. Did he play in that area, Coronado? They put him up to the 1st line. He was their first draft pick a few years ago, but that was only his 2nd game.
Yeah, so it's interesting to see that that 4th line is doing so well, and more than one team too, right? So maybe it's a new recipe, the new formula.
Well, they bring it. Remember, the 4th line used to have always a goon on it.
Yeah.
To protect everybody, and some of them could play and some of them couldn't. And so that kind of held the 4th line back, because you had a play ender out there. So now they can all play.
Yeah, which makes the game a lot more fun. I bet for them too.
Yeah. Well, the game keeps evolving.
Yeah, Matt Coronado's from Huntington, New York.
Yeah.
So that's Long Island, I believe.
Was he
And he
at
played, what college did he play at?
Cornell?
He
Cornell or was it
played.
Boston?
I was an Ivy League player.
He played at Harvard
Harvard.
for 2 seasons.
He scored a lot of goals there.
He did. He was more than a point a game guy.
Yeah. Well, he's going to be a good one. And apparently he worked on his skating a lot in the summer. They have this really good skating coach, this girl, and she works for the players, and she really helped him. And this Zary player, holy man, can he stick handle? He's one of the best stick handlers in the league. She worked with him all summer too on his skating.
Yeah, Coronado also played at local prep school about 45 minutes from us
Okay.
for a year. Then he went to the USHL for 2 before Harvard.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, there's lots of players coming up. I guess it's going to be a big change in that NCAA if they, like when I was young, it didn't matter what level you played, you could play NCAA, right?
Right.